I thought we'd start off the program today by talking about the thyroid and thyroid disease. In last month's issue of the Obstetrician and Gynecologist, a study was published that showed, quote, abnormalities in thyroid function can have an adverse effect on reproductive health and can result in reduced rates of conception, increased miscarriage risk, and adverse pregnancy and neonatal outcomes. Researchers further concluded that, quote, thyroid disease can have significant effects on a woman's reproductive health, and screening for women presenting with fertility problems and early pregnancy loss should be considered. In other words, the thyroid is important. It's important for lots of things, and thyroid health is a big issue. According to people who study the little butterfly-shaped gland in your neck area, located just right underneath your Adam's apple, there's 11 million people, 11 million Americans who suffer from a poorly functioning thyroid, and another 1 to 2, maybe 3 million people suffer from excess thyroid functioning, hyperthyroidism. But given the fundamental nature of the thyroid for all biology and all biochemistry, it's pretty likely that if you got a degenerative disease, you have a thyroid problem. Pretty much likely that no matter what your degenerative health crisis is, there's a thyroid problem lurking underneath. Almost all thyroid disorders, whether it's hyperthyroidism, that is the thyroid moving too fast, or hypothyroidism, the thyroid moving too slow, almost always you're going to find a freaked out and confused immune system. So all disease, all degenerative disease is going to have some kind of thyroid implications. The thyroid's going to be involved somehow, and all thyroid diseases are going to have some kind of immune dysfunction. The immune system is your defense system. In the case of thyroid disease, a lot of times you have autoimmune problems. That is, the immune system becomes confused. It becomes mixed up. It thinks our body is the enemy. The immune system is supposed to attack microbes and pathogens and things from outside, but sometimes the immune system gets confused and it attacks itself, it attacks the body itself, thus the term autoimmunity. It thinks the enemy is the glands and the organs and the systems in the body itself. In the case of the thyroid, the immune system's chemical weaponry, and it is a very sophisticated chemical weaponry. In the case of autoimmune disease of the thyroid, this chemical weaponry turns it on the thyroid itself. It's technically called autoimmunity. Autoimmunity is a sign of a jumpy, active immune system. What typically happens in an autoimmune condition is the defense system associates a part of the body with some kind of enemy, usually a food. It gets confused between a particle in food or a molecule in food and something inside the body, like the thyroid. Under normal conditions, under healthy conditions, substances in the body are distinguished from chemicals that are foreign to the body. Under normal conditions, when a food particle or some kind of molecule or a bacteria gets inside the body from the outside, the immune system reads this structure and then determines whether this structure is an enemy or not, if it's familiar or foreign, if it's friend or foe. If it reads it as familiar, it says, okay, this is under healthy conditions. It reads it as familiar. It says, all right, you're all's good. You're good. I recognize you. But if it's foreign, an immune system response is initiated. Chemical weaponry gets shot out at this invader, and all's good. However, when you have an autoimmune problem, this chemical weaponry unfortunately gets turned on itself. And one of the most fascinating things about the immune system is the fact that it's intelligent. It learns. So once an immune response has been initiated to a molecule in soy or in cheese or in eggs or in bread or in grains, whatever, the immune system will recognize that molecule, and the next time it sees soy or dairy or grains, it's going to jump. It's been trained. It's intelligent. It learns. And this is where the autoimmune problem comes from. If chemicals in the grain or the dairy or the soy are similar in structure to chemicals in the thyroid, molecules in the thyroid or in the digestive tract or in the nerve cells, you'll get a cross-reactivity. The immune system learns to respond to jump to soy, but it may cross-react with the thyroid. It may cross-react with the nerves. It may cross-react with the pancreas. It can cross-react with anything. That's an autoimmune disease. So, in essence, when you have an autoimmune problem, you've got a hyperactive immune system, a jumpy immune system, and you've got similarity of structures or molecules in food with molecules or structures in the body. The main point is you can't have an autoimmune reaction, you can't have an autoimmune disease unless the immune system has been turned on. That means if you're dealing with hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, or if you're dealing with multiple sclerosis, or you're dealing with myasthenia gravis or rheumatoid arthritis, or any of the 150 or more different autoimmune diseases, you gotta calm down the immune system. And it doesn't really matter where the immune attack is occurring. That's just more doctoring. That just creates specialists. You don't need to worry whether your autoimmune disease is in the joints and you call it rheumatoid arthritis, or in the nerves and you call it MS, or in the thyroid and you call it Hashimoto's thyroid. The point is, you got to calm down the immune system. And the best way to do that is to control the foods you eat. The bulk of the immune system is located in the digestive tract, which means if you have any immune problem, you got to calm down the digestive system. That means fasting, that means watching the foods you eat, and that means getting on a good digestive support nutritional program that features the Biolumin Nightly Essence, probiotics, the Fuchs Z, and of course, Jordan Rubin's wonderful, awesome, beyond organic products, the Swear-V and the Omicide. Do a Swear-V fast. We should all be doing a Swear-V fast at least once a month, in my opinion, or even a couple of times a month. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. If you got questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, we welcome your calls. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number, or 888-379-2552 toll free. 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552 toll free. We're coming back at you with more good health information right after this. Don't go away. I'm Pharmacist Ben, sitting in with my good buddy and colleague, Douglas Winfrey. What is going on, Douglas?
Oh, great to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
And I've got a Fox News story here. And this is another one of these ones. I mean, how many times over the course of the years, at least since you and I have been working together, where, mainstream medicine says, oh, don't drink coffee or caffeine, it's bad for you. And then, a
month later, a year later, 2 years later.
Yeah, and, for the last 20, 30 years, they've been telling us how bad cholesterol is. You don't even go past the eggs in the grocery store. You might get some cholesterol on you. Well, this Fox News story is headlined, Healthful Diet Report, Coffee and water instead of sugary drinks. More eggs are okay.
Right.
They say extra cup of coffee or two may be okay after all. And more eggs, too. They say less sugary soda. And don't forget your vegetables. The recommendations from a government advisory committee call for a diet lower in red and processed meats. Reverses the previous guideline of limiting dietary cholesterol, and they say a few cups of coffee may actually be good for you. And the Ag Department and Human Services, they say you'll take those recommendations under account when they're writing their final 2015 dietary guidelines by the end of the year. And they go on to say the guidelines affect nutritional patterns throughout the country, from federally subsidized school lunches that kids are throwing away, and food packaged labels, and your doctor's advice. According to the Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack, he says it by no means is it over with the release of the report.
They're still fighting it.
They're still wanting to fight it. They say eggs are...
They got statin drugs to sell.
Exactly. I mean, how long ago was it that they approved statin drugs for kids as young as 2 years old? I mean, when I saw that one, I was like going,
isn't that crazy?
The FDA must be insane.
Douglas,
at 2 years old, the brain's not even developed fully, and the brain is made out of cholesterol. I mean,
they're not insane.
Goofy.
They're insidious. They're sneaky. It's mean-spirited. Listen, Doug, how long has Dr. Wallach and myself and other alternative health practitioners, Dr. Glidden, how long have we been saying you need cholesterol? It's stupidity to try to poison the cholesterol system. And in any case, the cholesterol you eat has very little to do with the cholesterol that's in your blood. It's mostly the cholesterol you make. But here's the bottom line, Doug. It just doesn't make any sense to take an egg, which is the mother lode of nutrition. There is no food on the planet that is more complete in terms of nutrition, and to take the most concentrated form of the nutrients, which is the yolk, and then throw it out. It just is ridiculous. I can't even express the absurdity of this.
My dad was on a low cholesterol diet. I used to love it when we'd go out to breakfast, because he'd have him cook his eggs, and
just the whites,
and then he'd peel the white out, and then that way I got extra yolks.
I'm telling you, that yolk is like a golden nugget of everything that's good about nutrition: omega-3 fats and magnesium, and here's something else, by the way. All all the foods that contain cholesterol, they don't just contain cholesterol by themselves. The cholesterol exists in something that I call the cholesterol complex. And that cholesterol complex is made up of vitamin A, of lecithin, of very hard to find vitamin K, and other materials that are called phospholipids. In addition to the cholesterol, all these substances help you use and metabolize the cholesterol. So when you find cholesterol in a food, nature has equipped that food with everything you need to process that cholesterol. And that's what makes cholesterol-containing foods unbelievably important. And I'm talking dairy, and I'm talking eggs, and I'm talking organ meats as well. Cholesterol is unbelievably important. I'll tell you why when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. That line's open for you at 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. 888-379-2552. Toll free. We're coming back at you with more good health information on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program right after this. Talking a little cholesterol here. I think it's called the Dietary Guideline Association or Dietary Guideline Committee or something, Doug. It's a government advisory board that determines what we should be eating and what we shouldn't eat.
Yeah, because we wouldn't know what to eat without
right.
them.
It's always made up of doctors, and they tell you what to eat, and blah, 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 blah. So for 20 years, 30 years, actually maybe longer, maybe 40 or 50 years, they've been saying, throw out the yolks. Don't eat cholesterol. Limit your intake of cholesterol-containing foods. And Dr. Wallach and myself have been saying, baloney. Eat cholesterol, lots of it. And by the way, the more cholesterol you eat, the less cholesterol your body will make. So how do you like that? If you really want to lower your cholesterol, eat cholesterol. In any case, here's the thing about cholesterol, Doug, and this is so important. You know, only animals make cholesterol. Plants don't make cholesterol. Cholesterol is the quintessential molecule associated with movement, muscle growth and development, and the nervous system. It is the quintessential nervous system and movement molecule in the body. In fact, in my opinion, it is probably the most important chemical the body makes. And it is the molecule of movement, and it's the molecule of brains and intelligence. It's the molecule of muscles, and it's the molecule of the central nervous system. It's also very important for the immune system. So first of all, to take a poison drug that keeps your body from making cholesterol is unbelievably stupid. But even dumber is to try to lower your cholesterol by eating less cholesterol. Because if you eat less, your body's going to make more. It's as simple as that. Not only that, but cholesterol in the diet comes associated with the cholesterol complex, which is vitamin A and vitamin K and vitamin D and lecithin and phospholipids, nutrients that all support the growing effects of the growth-inducing effects of cholesterol, and also help the body handle cholesterol. You guys, cholesterol is your friend. Now, you don't want to cook your cholesterol-containing foods too much, because when you cook cholesterol, it kind of changes shape and it loses some of its value. It can actually create some harmful compounds. But as far as ingesting it, eating it, yes. Eat cholesterol. Lots of it. I don't care what the dummies at these government medical representatives tell you. And to take a statin drug to knock out your cholesterol is not wise either. By the way, if you think you're making too much cholesterol, it's probably because you're eating too much sugar, because cholesterol is a growth-inducing substance. When the body gets sugar, it thinks it's supposed to be growing. So if we're not lifting weights or working out or doing some kind of physical exercise, but we're still eating lots of sugar, the body's going to keep making cholesterol, but that cholesterol is not going to get used to make cells and to grow muscles, because we're not doing anything that requires more cells and more muscles, and then the cholesterol levels go up. So if you really want to lower your cholesterol, treat elevated cholesterol levels as a blood sugar problem. That's the most important strategy, not a drug problem, and it's no reason to go to the doctor. Get on the Sweeties, use chromium vanadium, get on the Beyond Osteo FX for your magnesium, get on the Healthy Start Pack for your B vitamins. There's a good reason why diabetes and elevated cholesterol go hand in hand. Elevated cholesterol needs to be regarded as a sign that your blood sugar is starting to get whacked out, and that you're probably eating too much starchy foods and desserts and soda pop and all the kind of stuff that we beat up on here on this program and on my show, The Bright Side, every day. All right. Good health is simple, you guys. Let us show you how easy it can be to reverse degenerative diseases or to get you off your prescription drugs. 831-685-1080. That's 831-685-1080, our priority line number, or 888-379-2552, toll free. We're coming back with your phone calls right after this on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Don't go away.
Let's head to California. And Elizabeth, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
What's up, Elizabeth?
Hi, I wanted to know what would be the best thing for me to take to rebuild the bone in my teeth. Back, the jawbone.
Oh, we got a little osteoporosis going on?
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal with osteoporosis. First of all, there's a lot of things going on with osteoporosis. First of all, it's a degenerative disease like we were talking about before we started taking calls. There's something getting into the body that's keeping it from doing its building work, its healing work. So if you have any digestive issues, those need to be corrected. That's first of all. If you have blood sugar problems, you need to get yourself on the sweeties, and you need to start controlling the kind of foods you eat, changing those around. Those are the first two things that come to mind whenever there's a degenerative health crisis. But as far as building bone goes, there's a couple other things that you can do. Of course, you want the healthy bone pack, and that'll get you your Beyond OsteoFX and your Mighty 90 essential nutrients. You also get some glucogel in there, and glucosamine in the glucogel is very important for helping build bone. Always take your Beyond Tangy Tangerine and your glucogel caps together. That's because vitamin C is important for turning on, for accessing, allowing the body to access its collagen building mechanisms. And glucosamine and vitamin C both go together. So glucogel and Beyond Tangy Tangerine together, in addition to the healthy bone pack. You might want to try some digestive support also, and that would mean the Biolumin Nightly Essence and the digestive and the Ultimate Enzymes, and some apple cider vinegar with the Ultimate Enzymes. And then a really interesting strategy for helping build bone is resistance training, weight exercises. You don't have to have a gym. You don't have to have a membership. You don't have to go all in your fancy sweatpants or fancy duds to work out. All you need is a couple of 5-pound dumbbells, or if you don't even have that, you can do some resistance training with a full gallon jugs of water. You hold a gallon of water in one hand, a gallon jug of water in the other hand, and then you do a kind of squatting motion real slow down, and a squatting motion, and then you kind of lift your body up real slowly. So you squat down slowly, and then you lift yourself up slowly, holding 2-gallon jugs of water, and that'll help build bone in the lower part of your body. Actually, it'll help build bone in the upper part of your body as well. So you got your Healthy Start pack, your Healthy Bone and Body pack, Healthy Bone and Joint pack, and then controlling the blood sugar using the sweeties, and maybe changing your diet around to avoid sweet foods, insulin spiking foods, blood sugar spiking foods, and then also doing some weight-bearing exercises. Don't diminish the importance of weight-bearing exercises when it comes to building bone, building muscle, building everything, especially in terms of osteoporosis. Now, for the jaw, you can actually do jaw exercises, and that can help build some of the connective tissue in the jaw, moving the lower part of your jaw real slowly to the left and real slowly to the right. We can actually do facial exercises, though. There's a lot of muscles in the face area, in the jaw area. Did you know the strongest muscle in your body is actually called the masseter, or the strongest muscle in your body is called the masseter muscle, and it's really your jaw muscle. So there's lots of things you could do to build the connective tissue and the muscle tissue in the jaw, doing exercises as well as the Healthy Bone and Joint pack, and then digestive support, and perhaps throw in some blood sugar support using the sweeties. Thanks so much for your call. Appreciate it. Got to take a break. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552. Toll free. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Doc today. We'll take a time out and come back right after this.
Let's head to Michigan. And Linda, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
What's going on, Linda?
Hi. I have a 15-year-old daughter who was diagnosed with aortic stenosis at birth. At 1 month old, we found this out, and they've been telling us that she will eventually have to have valve replacement surgery. But right now, she had a stress test recently, and right now they want to do a balloon catheterization procedure to increase.
Here's the deal. Yeah. Here's the deal.
Exercise. Okay.
Yeah. It's just going to make me mad. I don't want to get mad here. Aortic stenosis is a condition that causes kind of blockage or obstruction to the way blood moves around in the heart. Here's what you got to do. You got to focus on inflammation. We have lots of control over the inflammatory process. The inflammatory process is part of the defense system. Inflammation means defense. Now, I don't know necessarily that there may be something structural going on in there, and you can't really control something that's structural. If she was born that way and there's a structural defect, but what you can do is you can mitigate or reduce inflammation, which is going to make the problem much worse. So how do you do that? How do you control inflammation or immunity? Well, you got to figure out if there's something getting into her body that her body is objecting to. And the only way to know that is to look for symptoms. You got to look for symptoms. You got to look for other things that are going on in her body. The most likely suspect is going to be digestive symptoms. So was she colicky as a baby? Was she breastfed? Did she complain about food?
No, neither one of those.
Did she break out? Did she have any constipation issues when she was a baby? You got to find them. I'm not giving you a list of things that are wrong for you to check. I'm just giving you examples of things that you want to look for. You follow what I'm saying? This is not a checklist. This is examples. So there's something else going on in her body. Now, as I say, if it's a structural thing, if she was born with a valve, with a defect in the structure of the valve, for example, or something along those lines, was that the case?
Yes.
Okay, so she had an aortic valve issue?
Yes.
Okay, it was a structural issue in the valve.
Yes.
All right, so then you can't do anything with nutrition there, but what you can do is you can make her body strong, and that's what I would be doing. Number one, if you say that you just said she didn't have any digestive issues, but sometimes they sneak around. They're sneaky, so you kind of look for those because that'll
like craves sugar.
Okay, well that's what I'm about to tell you that. If you're craving sugar, chances are she's got a blood sugar problem, and that's going to mess up the circulatory system via this inflammatory process. So you got to control that. In other words, you want to control where you can control. I call that locus of control. You control what you can control. You're not going to get into her heart and change the structure of her valve, but where you can control is anything that's putting a stress on the heart or on the body. Sugar will put a massive stress on the body, on the circulatory system especially. It will cause inflammation in the blood vessels. If she has food allergies or food intolerances, likewise, those will cause problems, and those are two major places where you can control. And then thirdly, if she's dealing with nutritional deficiencies, and it's very common that children are dealing with nutritional deficiencies, that's going to compound the problem. So if I were you, there'd be three courses of action I would do. Step number one is look for digestive issues, and I mean really look for them, and then connect those up to foods and then eliminate those foods. And you're going to want to use perhaps some the Biolumin Nightly Essence and the Fucoid Z or Z Radicals. Z Radicals a little sweeter. She may like that a little bit better. And so that will take care of your the digestive approach. Then you're going to do the blood sugar approach. The fact that she's craving sugar is telling me she's not getting enough protein, and or she's getting too much sugar. When we get a lot of sugar, our body pulls that sugar out of the blood, and we go low blood sugar, we crave more sugar. So sugar cravings need to be regarded as number one, not enough protein, and number two, problems handling sugar or getting too much sugar in her system. So use the Slender FX, make sure she's eating lots of good eggs and fish and good clean meat, making sure she's getting enough protein, and then making sure she's using her Ultimate EFAs. Between the Ultimate EFAs and the protein, and reducing her intake of sweets and desserts and soda pop and fruit juice and potatoes and rice, reducing her intake of those kinds of foods, you're going to get the blood sugar handled. And then third is a good all-around nutritional supplement program that features the B vitamins and vitamin C. The B vitamins and vitamin C are key players in heart health and circulatory system health. Every time we go to the bathroom, this is so important, every time we urinate, we lose our B vitamins, we lose our vitamin C, and we lose our electrolytes. And if we're not replacing them, you're guaranteed to be deficient in these very important cardiac vitamins, blood circulation vitamins. So get her on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, have her sipping on it all day long. You put a half a scoop or so in water, and then sip on the water bottle, and when you run out, do another half a scoop, and just keep it going all day long. Make sure she's getting her water-soluble nutrients. So lots of things you could do. Focus on where you can control. Focus on your locus of control, digestion, blood sugar, and a good nutritional supplement program that features the water-soluble B vitamins, vitamin C, and the electrolytes. And thanks for your call. God bless you. I hope everything works out. Let's see if we get one more call in, Doug, before I break.
Yeah, let's head to Washington State. And Juanita, you're on with pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Juanita.
Hi.
Hey. What's up?
I'm on dialysis, and I have some Youngevity Ultimate Daily.
Okay.
Somebody gave me those, but I take Renavella, and I was wondering what to take with
Hi.
Renavella.
I don't know what Renavella is. Say that again.
You take
Renavella?
It's pills you take after you eat.
I'm not sure what that is, Renavella. But so let me just let's talk a little bit about dialysis, because that's a very common problem. All right, so a dialysis machine for the listeners is like an artificial kidney, right? They'll put you on this dialysis machine, they'll run your blood through it when your kidneys are messed up. So in order to understand dialysis, in order to understand kidney disease, and by the way, kidney disease is officially an epidemic. It's unbelievable how many people have kidney problems, and not everybody's on dialysis because the kidneys are so darn amazing and so darn important that the body can run on very low kidney function. You actually have two kidneys, and you only even need one kidney. So the kidneys are very resilient and very powerful, which means by the time you're on dialysis, my dear, you've done a lot of damage to your body. So the question becomes, what is it that damages the kidneys? Well, the kidneys are like a spaghetti strainer. They strain your blood. They filter your blood, they call it. So just think of a filter or spaghetti strainer. So then logic will tell you that if you have a spaghetti strainer issue, which is what kidney disease is, then something must have been getting into that spaghetti strainer that's clogging it up. That means the kidney disease, and if you're on dialysis, is a sign of dirty blood, and that's it. That's the only thing that causes kidney disease. I don't want to say the only thing, but for the most part, that's what causes kidney disease, is dirty blood. And it takes many years of dirty blood for kidney disease to show up. So what you want to do is you want to start to clean the blood. The most likely cause of dirty blood is sugar. There are chemical reactions that take place between sugar and components in the blood, between sugar and the circulatory vessels themselves. All of those can cause the blood to become clotty and coagulated and dirty and ultimately destroy the kidneys. So you got to get on, treat yourself, whether they told you you're diabetic or not. You got to treat yourself like a diabetic if you're on dialysis or you have kidney problems. That means keeping your intake of sugary foods down. That includes bread and pasta and rice and potatoes, as well as desserts, etc. And then using the sweeties and using the B vitamins and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. In fact, everybody on dialysis should be using the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, especially after your dialysis. And then treat yourself, use all the sugar metabolizing nutrients that we talk about all the time, sweeties, magnesium in the Beyond OsteoFX, etc. That's step number one. Step number two, another reason why you have dirty blood is from toxicity that's coming in through the digestive system. So, again, you got to control all the foods you're eating and look for food allergies and food intolerances, and then eliminate foods that cause those problems. Foods that cause diarrhea or constipation or bloating or gas or discomfort or heartburn, etc. And then you eliminate those foods, and then you get yourself on the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night. The Fuchs Z, 3 capsules in the morning, 3 capsules at night. It wouldn't hurt you to throw in some digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes, interestingly, actually will help thin the blood on their own, even if you take them on an empty stomach, and of course they'll also help you digest your food. So take care of your digestive issues, take care of your blood sugar issues, and then make sure you're getting on a good nutritional supplement program that gets you the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, and that's the Healthy Start Pack. Sip on that Beyond Tangy Tangerine, especially when you're done with your dialysis. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. We're coming back with more good health information right after this break. Don't go away. Okay, we are back on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. Got one more segment to talk to you, 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552 are your numbers. Who's next on the line, Doug?
Let's head to Ohio, and Rachel, you're on with pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Rachel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey,
you know what your name means? You know what Rachel means?
I think it's lamb.
No, that's what they tell you. It's the coolest name ever, Rachel. It means
mean?
breath. It means breath of God.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, great.
Isn't that better than lamb? I don't know why they say it means lamb. It means breath of God.
I don't know. That's interesting. My husband's on dialysis, and according to your last caller, the drug is called Renavella. It's a phosphate binder.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Taken
about.
with meals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you telling me.
What happened is he went into kidney failure due to obstruction, not disease, and he can still excrete, so he doesn't hold fluid. He's been getting high blood pressure readings and headaches. He's been on dialysis for like 3 years, and he's just recently taken himself off after like 2.5 hours of treatment because the blood pressure escalates and the headaches get really severe.
How did he have what was the obstruction from?
Enlarged prostate.
And how old is he?
He's 60. He's 60.
Okay, so here's the deal, ma'am. You don't want to overthink this by targeting the prostate and the kidneys and the blood and the headaches and all these different ways that the body's breaking down. It doesn't matter where his body's breaking down. It matters that his body's breaking down. You understand that distinction I'm making? The specific parts of the body, that's just the way we create specialists. All that does is create jobs for doctors. Okay, we don't need to create jobs for doctors. They should go get a real job, in my opinion.
Yeah, really.
Right. So here's what we need to. We just need to focus on the body. All right. The fact that he has a enlarged prostate tells me that something's been percolating there for decades. You don't just have an enlarged prostate. So we got to figure out what that is. Well, there's only 3 main systems in the body. There's 3 primary systems in the body, and then everything else is on top of the. Think of it like a pyramid. You have a base, and then you have things on top of the base. The base of the pyramid is where we need to be approaching, and that means the base of the pyramid is composed of 3 points: the digestive system, the blood sugar system, and what I call the adrenal thyroid complex. And the first 2 systems are the most important, always. This is what I mean by locus of control, where we have control. This is so important for everybody listening. We have such control over our bodies at these 2 points. If he has an enlarged prostate, I can guarantee you, and by the way, I'm Pharmacist Ben, I'm not Psychic Ben, I'm Pharmacist Ben, but I'm guaranteeing you that he has had a problem processing fats and fatty vitamins and probably minerals for a long time. This is where the enlarged prostate comes from. So that means he's got to get to the bottom of this digestive crisis. Look for problem foods. If he's probably constipated, or he may have loose stools, one or the other. Look for foods that are associated with these digestive symptoms: constipation, loose stools, heartburn, gas, bloating, all the things that are considered digestive, and then link those problems up to foods and then eliminate those foods. Then simultaneous with this approach, you're going to want to use all the digestive support that we've been talking about today: the nightly essence, the Fuchs Z, ultimate enzymes after meals, get on the Swear V cleanse. Even if he just does a Swear V fast, that would be great. You get the Swear V off the website. You can go to Youngevity.com or whatever website you want to use. Get the Swear V. You do a cleanse for 1, 2, or even 3 days, which is where you fast, and every hour you do half a bottle of Swear V, or even a whole bottle of Swear V. Swear V is made with electrolytes. It'll help him with his kidneys, and it'll help get him through the fasting. Sometimes when you start a fast, you feel a little tired or fatigued. It'll help him get him through that and get him through the cravings. Associated with prostate, problems associated with the prostate, or also the kidney, and the headaches for that matter, usually involve some component of blood sugar. What's called dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar. So, like with our other callers, you focus on the blood sugar system. First the digestive system, then the blood sugar system, staying away from problem foods, staying away from all the sugary foods, the foods that spike blood sugar, using the sweeties, and using the whole Healthy Start Pack, actually, including the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Last but most certainly not least, get him on the Prost FX, one of my all-time favorite prostate support supplements that can help him get the basic nutrients for his prostate. You guys, health is easy. It's not complicated. Don't be bamboozled by focusing on this system, this organ, that organ. Get on the Healthy Start Pack, eliminate problem foods, stabilize your blood sugar, and relax and lighten up. It's as simple as that. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. For Doug and for Dr. Wallach and all the folks at the ZBS Radio Network, have yourselves a spectacular, awesome, wonderful day. We'll talk to y'all later.